Elio guys, and welcome back, and in today's video we're taking a revisit to Fennec, who received a slight update quite a bit ago, but just trying to keep you guys up to date in terms of astromon, especially for newer players out there. Let's go ahead and dive right into it here. So we do have the lovely Fire Fennec, who is an attacker type coming in with 27k HP, 2.5k attack, and then 1.5k defense. Nat 3, as I was looking over, yeah, that defense, man. Oh man. Do keep in mind too that Fennec is a rebirth astromon, so if you're wondering, oh, how do I get Fennec? Just wait until she comes around. I do believe it's a she, and you will one day hopefully have them all. But let's take a look at the lovely skills here. So, in terms of the 3-star skill, we do have Wood Hunter, which increases critical hit damage by 50% when attacking Wood Astromon. For the 5-star skill, critical hits have an 80% chance to lower the enemy's attack for 2 turns. And the Fennecs also have a Death Blow lead, which is useful for mons with high crit rate because you get that boost in crit damage, which is just smiley face gaming in general here. So Wood Hunter is situational to where if you're not fighting Wood Astromon, basically just don't even use this astromon whatsoever. And the critical hit reliance with attack down sucks. So if you get this mon without a square slot, because this is a nat 3 with 1.5k defense, I just wouldn't waste a slot converter on this. Just rest in peace to the squad. There's literally no point whatsoever here. But taking a look at the skill books, Wood Hunter does receive a 20% damage boost, and then Attack Down receives a 15% damage boost, and I do believe it goes up to 100% chance for 2 turns. I mean, that is debuffing, but is it really worth it in the end? I would probably argue not, because I'm thinking the Nat 3 League does exist here, but it's kind of situational, and I do believe Mowgli does like the same thing, but just better in terms of raw damage and not having to worry about debuffing whatsoever. Yeah. Wood Hunter and Wood Predator. So if you're going for nuking, I would just say use Mowgli instead. If you're using a Nat 3, this astromon is just weird champ. Like, I get why it exists, but also I don't get why it exists when we have Mowgli. Not saying Mowgli is great, but if Mowgli is not great, then what is this? And then moving forward here, same exact situation. Water Fennec is an attacker type with nearly 27k HP, 2.6k attack, and then 1.5k defense. Glass Cannon, and let's go ahead and guess the skills. Fire Hunter, and then a critical hit reliant attack down once again. No square slot. Throw this thing in the blender. Honestly, in terms of rebirth, I would just rebirth all of these like the RGB. Get them up to Evo 3 and let them go. Because if you're not fighting a Fire Astromon, 3-star skill is useless. If you don't have a square slot, 5-star skill is useless. If you have both a Fire Mon that you're fighting and a square slot, then bring in Mowgli instead. Like, I don't want attack down applied to the enemy. I want the enemy to pass away. I don't need you to be weaker once you hit me. That's pretty much how I see things right here. But in terms of the whole skill books, if I don't click out of it, once again, 20% damage boost in regards to Hunter. And then for the 5-star skill, there's a 15% damage boost with a 20% increase, making that 100% chance for critical hits to apply attack down. Just fodder at the end, man. And then moving right along here, we do have the lovely Wood Fennec, who is an attacker type once again, with 23k HP, 2.5k attack, and then 1.8k defense. Seems like a huge change in HP. Unless I'm tripping, dude. Like, he lost like 4k. I mean, she lost that much? For what? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Anyways, skills, same thing here. Water Hunter, and then a critical hit reliant attack down. If you're not fighting a Water Astromon, throw this in the blender. In terms of skills, because this is legit the same skills, just swap for different elements. 20% damage boost in regards to Hunter, and then for the attack down, once again, 15% damage boost, and it goes up to 100% with a critical hit, being applied to the enemy. So no square slot, bad news bears, but these RGB, as you can see, they're just copies of each other, just like Mowgli, but once again, I would argue a worse version of Mowgli, which you guys will say, Elio, why do you like Mowgli? Have you seen Mowgli's skills? Especially in terms of a new player. I'm trying to look at this from a new player perspective. Don't invest in this. This orange just isn't worth the squeeze, man. And now, hopefully, we have a little bit of spice, but notice I said hopefully. So here we have Light Fennec, who is an attacker type, coming in with 26k HP, 3.2k attack, and then 2.2k defense, nearly 2.3k, so closer to the 2.5k defense threshold. Still a little bit glassy, but nowhere near as bad as the other ones. So this astromon is very interesting because if we take a look at the kit here, I will explain. Comes in with a 3-star hunter, 50% increase to critical hit damage, meaning you need to make sure you have a square slot on this bad girl. And then defense down, once again, it does apply a debuff as long as you hit with the crit, which is great. If you're new to the game, if you don't crit, hunter doesn't activate, congratulations, you wasted your turn. That's it. That's it. But interesting story here was back in the day, which was honestly like a couple years ago, people would run like siphon sets on Light Fennec here and tear up Golem's B10. Like, it was one of the fastest methods outside of Light Radis, who they trickled in later on in terms of MSL in the rebirth cycle to finally have a whole bunch of Light Radis for everyone. At a time it basically became obsolete. So she did have her uses right there. Outside of that though, I would say that you could still use astromon for nuking, especially into something like Colossus. Like, if you need a nuker outside of like a courageous striker, someone that can do some steady damage, especially once that defense down has been applied, you know, the 3-star version of Hunter can come in handy with that 50% damage increase, especially if she's on a Ruin set. Outside of Ruin or maybe Intuition, probably wouldn't bother, but it's really up to you, because we can see right here Hunter does receive a 20% damage increase, and defense down also receives a 20% damage increase. So you can get some raw damage out of this astromon as a, I wouldn't say like total nuker, because both skills don't have nuking properties to them, but as like a pseudo nuker. So especially if you are kind of new to the game and need to fill up your roster, this is a great astromon to have to kind of nuke. And, you know, in the event that this astromon is no longer useful for you, we have the lovely world boss that you can still use this astromon in. Throw her up in there and get her variant, especially as a rebirth mon. They always come out the eggs anyways. That is free world boss fodder. So useful, you know, a lot more useful than the RGB types. Just once again, expect this mon to kind of fall off unless somebody out there still using Light Fennec every single day till this day. But I definitely do like Light Fennec. Very interesting astromon. Alright, and then to wrap things up here, we do have Dark Fennec, who is a tank type coming in with 46k HP. Wow. I mean, I understand this in Nat 4, but I wouldn't expect like a rebirth Nat 4 to have like that much HP. That is appalling. But the attack is 2.2k, and then the defense is nearly 1.9k. So very squishy tank, but for that amount of HP, I think things will buff out. But let's take a look at the skills here. So for the 3-star skill, there's Battle Rush, which restores 20% of own HP and SP when attacking. And then for the 5-star skill, it's Silence, which grants a 60% chance to silence the enemy for 2 turns, and silence foes cannot use their active skill. So interesting astromon, because with the whole tank status going on, there's kind of a way for her to kind of be like a self-sustainer right here, and then that also kind of feeds off into the 5-star skill of getting that silence up. But I'm not a super big fan of Battle Rush, because I would rather do away with the whole HP gain and get my SP up quickly, because if the enemy can't attack or do their active skill, I don't need to heal, because hopefully they're going to pass away sooner. Just one man's thoughts or opinions here. So some self-sustain and then basically debuffing. That's the whole point of Dark Fennec here. But taking a look at the skill books, it looks like Battle Rush goes up to 25% with a 20% damage increase. 2.2k attack stat. I know it's a dark type, but doesn't really matter. And then Silence receives a 15% damage boost and goes up to, what was that, 80% for 2 turns? 80% for 2 turns, yep. So, I mean, once again, not super bad. It's just, in my opinion, very situational. I feel like there's better choices, and I don't think I've honestly used this astromon ever. Like, it looks cool, and I guess on paper it sounds alright, but outside of maybe someone like, I think it's Dark Jean that has Silence, and maybe Dark Valk, I mean, Silence isn't really my go-to skill, especially with something being paired up with like Battle Rush. It's just a decent way of getting the silence off, but what else does this astromon bring to the table? I would argue pretty much nothing. So honestly, I tend to recommend just the Light Fennec only in terms of usability, because Golems, you know, pseudo nuker, world boss fodder. This astromon is pretty much just world boss fodder for me. You could bring it in the Astromon League and have fun with that. You could bring it in clan versus clan, but there's just better options, because while you're trying to gather up SP to get her 5-star skill off, somebody already has her crowd controlled and she can't heal. She's just going to sit there and pass away. But this is just one man's opinion. Want to keep you guys updated, especially in terms of the astromon videos. So if you're a newer player out there, feel free to go for the rebirth of Fennec whenever it pops up here. I would pretty much just keep light and dark. Light does have its uses. Dark, pretty much world boss fighter at this point in time. But yeah, you guys, feel free to leave your comments below about what your favorite Fennec is, or which one that you may use every single day, if you do use it every single day. If you don't, you know, we're in the same boat here, because mine has been retired. And also feel free to leave the comments on any other videos that you feel are outdated, because the skill sets have changed, because I'm working on those. And hopefully see you guys in the next one. Peace out.